Hey guys, Kaylin here, and I'm going to be doing, well, I already watched this video like years ago, so it's a reaction slash review slash debate kind of thing. Now, I had a discussion with one of my friends about how Cell was stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in the Cell arc. I can't really say Team Gohan because technically he's still a teenager in the Buu arc. So that's not adult Gohan because he's still a teenager. He's 16 in the Buu arc. At the start of the Buu arc, he's 16. So that's more of a teenager than, and like if it's 7 years beforehand, that means they're saying that he was 9 in the Cell arc, even though he should have been like 10 or 11. So yeah, that's weird. Anyways, he lists this video as kind of like proof. Besides like naming some examples, like he didn't just go, oh, here's proof. Like he gave me his reasons why, and I said no, that makes no sense because of this, this, and this. And then eventually he sent me this link, the link to this video, and I'm like, yeah, I already saw it. Like, so I'm gonna save that for the actual reaction. So I'm gonna start it in 3, 2, 1. Enough is enough.
I have been teasing this video for months, and the words just
Geekdom.
have not hit me until now. The time has come to deliver the truth about Gohan Super Saiyan 2. I have seen all kinds of fans say all kinds of ridiculous things.
Me too.
If it wasn't for Vegeta, Gohan would never have beaten Cell.
And that's a true fact.
Perfect Cell was stronger than Gohan.
That's a true fact.
I've even heard people say that Goku was stronger than Gohan during the Cell games.
No.
Boy, do
Gohan
I
was stronger than
news for
Goku.
you. On this video, which is going to be a combination Mythbuster and Strongest in Dragon Ball, a very special edition of both, we're going to look at Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and just how unbelievably powerful he was in the Cell games. He was unquestionably the strongest character on Earth during that time, and I'm going to provide you with several different statements from the manga and the anime to tell you exactly why Super Saiyan 2 Gohan during that time was a complete freak. And after this video, I never want to hear people say this blasphemy ever again. Okay, so first things first, we got to get right to the source before we start analyzing all of this. And the source, the original sources for the content in this video is from the manga and the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't matter how much you might like the dub. There's way too many dub changes in this arc for it to be a relevant point for this video.
True,
so we're going to go to the original Japanese, and I have spoken to several independent translators when it comes to the Viz manga to make sure that their translation is accurate as well. So everything's going to go right from the original source. Let's break down some things right now.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, so the first thing I have to debunk before we go into the actual Gohan versus Cell fight is this ridiculous rumor that Super Saiyan Grade 3 Trunks and Full Power Goku were stronger than Cell. No matter which way you slice it, it's not the case at all, and it's a complete fabrication. Yes, Trunks was very powerful in Grade 3. He was not more powerful than Cell. People say, well, Trunks could have beat him, but he was too slow. No, Cell was making fun of Trunks being too slow because of the fact that Trunks thought that he had truly surpassed Vegeta, now realizing that Vegeta knew about the weakness of the Grade 3 form and chose not to use it against Cell. In fact, there's a scene where Cell actually goes into his version of Grade 3. He gets just as buff as Trunks to demonstrate that the form has speed issues, and Goku, of course, shows it to Gohan. So again, that idea that Grade 3 Trunks could have beaten Cell if he was stronger is incorrect, and the series itself explains it to you, but I feel like some people don't remember these details, so that's why I'm making this video to kind of remind you of how things actually were. So even though Cell fought Trunks, he still wasn't even going at full power. Now, when it comes to full power Goku and Gohan both exit the Room of Spirit in time, and everybody is amazed at their power, including Vegeta. Everybody is in awe of just how powerful and how much stronger and smarter Goku had become as a fighter. Goku, when leaving the Room of Spirit in time, was infinitely more powerful than he ever has been prior to that, and he was stronger than Trunks and Vegeta.
Yeah, he was stronger than both of them.
Grade 3 or whatever, Goku himself surpassed all of that, and even then, he says that if he fights Cell, he's not sure if he can win. And there's even a scene where Goku demonstrates his power in front of Master Karin, and even he actually defeat Cell. So when Goku actually goes in and fights Cell, they
You're
have
the
a
one
long
of
and really fun
Fully.
fight. And yes, Goku does get the upper hand with the Warp Kamehameha.
Hold on, I'm gonna pause it right there. So, unless the translations, like there's some translation error, when I read the manga, Goku said he's not sure, he would have to meet Cell and find out. So he teleports to Cell. That's where they first meet, and he still wasn't sure. So then after he returned, he went to meet Korin. And Korin, like Goku powered up for Korin, and he's like, all right, that's about half of my power. And then Korin's like, you're close, but you're still not there. So it made you feel like, okay, maybe Goku's around 80% of self power or something like that. But no, that's not the case. Goku is like barely half of perfect self power. So Super Saiyan 1 Goku grade 4 is the barely half of self power. We know this because after they have their fight and it cuts to Master Roshi, he was like, Goku seemed like he barely has anything left in the tank type statement. I can't really read the exact thing because I have the video up instead of the scan. So and then he goes, Cell looks like he's barely he's barely tired out or anything. And then we cut back to where Cell tells Goku to take a sensu bean so that Goku could give him more of a fight, like give him continue the fight type thing. So the fact is, Cell is not only using more ki than Goku because he's overwhelming Goku already in the fight. So that means he's using more ki. He has to be, or else if he's using the same amount of ki as Goku, then they'll be even instead of Cell having the edge. Now Cell's not using like that much of his power. Like we've seen this done with Frieza as well. Like Frieza would use like what was the first time? I think 10% of his power, and then he increased it to half. And then Goku had to use like Kaioken times 20 to like match up half of Frieza's power back in the Namek arc. Like it's similar to that to an extent. But Frieza was holding more power, I guess. I mean, not more power, but like holding back more and then slowly going up. Whereas Cell just using like a certain amount, and then he doesn't really increase it because at that point Goku just DQs himself and puts Gohan in. But anyways, that tells us that he would have to be below half of Cell power for Cell to like if he was even at half of Cell power, just at half, then the moment Goku took a sensu bean, they would have to be even for him to even be half, really, because Cell didn't power up or nothing. Like he doesn't power up to his full power until he fights Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, because Goku literally said, "Oh, now he powered up his full power." Now let's go back to this and I'll continue whatever.
Cell does regenerate because of the nucleus inside of his body that can somehow move around and avoid getting destroyed unless he's totally disintegrated, which we're going to get to here in a second. But Goku's stamina, as time progressed, was going down, and running out. And it's interesting that people have said Goku could have beaten Cell, but he didn't do it because he wanted to let Gohan do it. That's the biggest crock of shit ever. What people are doing is they're confusing what Goku said in the Buu saga when he says, well, I could have beaten Fat Buu, but I wanted Goten and Trunks to have something to do. That's where people are getting mixed up here. Goku never once said he could have beaten Cell. In fact,
he never once
after
said
the
that.
fight with Goku and Cell ended, when Goku surrendered, Goku himself says,
He
when
can't
Gohan
beat
asked
him,
him, yes, I was going all out, I was giving away my true power, but I'm not sure if Cell was. And then we find out as the fight with Gohan, which would happen right after the fight with Goku versus Cell, when that fight would happen, that is what gave us definitive proof that Cell was holding back against Goku. Even though it was a great fight, that was not Cell at his absolute best. When Cell fights Gohan is where things get interesting. So the fight begins with full power Super Saiyan grade 4 Gohan.
And everyone's shocked.
Confused about what the forms
and
are,
even Cell was like, oh, maybe Goku was telling some hint of truth. Like when he said that Gohan's stronger than him.
We're talking about when I mentioned grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. Please check out those videos for a more in-depth analysis and discussion of what those forms actually are. But Gohan, even before being Super Saiyan 2, was proving that he was more powerful, even if just a little bit, before Super Saiyan Saiyan 2, Gohan was probably slightly stronger than Goku.
Yep.
And there's even a scene where Cell says, and I quote, "Perhaps what Son Goku said was not
That's
a
what I just said.
when Goku kept saying that Gohan was stronger. And this is before Super Saiyan 2. But as this is going on, Cell is still overconfident because he's hiding his true power.
Exactly.
So, as you've seen probably a billion times in the series, Gohan gets angry and goes Super Saiyan 2 after 16 gets stomped on. And it's a great scene, and here we go, off to the races we go, with Gohan single-handedly making the Cell Juniors look like 1980s WWF jobbers. I mean, it was a complete massacre with the way that he did these dudes in Dragon Ball. One of my favorite all-time episodes and chapters in the entire series. But remember, the Cell Juniors are very powerful, and Gohan proceeds to dismantle these guys. These are the same Cell Juniors that were annihilating the Z Fighters. And yes, Goku was exhausted and did not take a Senzu, but the others got pummeled, including Vegeta and Trunks, after a second trip to the Room of Spirit and Time. Think about that. Think about that level of power. One of the Cell Juniors even bounced off a Final Flash. Don't forget that. So then we get to Gohan versus Cell. So Gohan faces Cell.
This is when Cell goes full power.
Forget is that Cell powers up not once but 2 times during that fight. Go back and watch it. He raises his energy level 2 times, which without a shadow of a doubt proves that he was holding that power back against Goku. And remember, we're talking about phase 2 of the Gohan Cell fight, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan versus Perfect Cell, not Super Perfect Cell. We'll get to that here in a minute because I have a lot to say about that.
So do I.
During that
I'm
fight,
waiting for that point.
Again,
Alright.
Cell powers up, which means that he is his true max power at this point. Way beyond Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku, and Gohan still takes no damage in this part of the fight. None. Gohan just laughs at him like the first time my ex saw me naked. Like, literally, Gohan is just like, nothing. Gohan delivers 2 punches that rocks Cell's ancestors. You know what I'm talking about? Like they said in Rocky 6. And there's even a scene where the narrator steps in the middle of the episode, which is very rare because outside of the beginning and ending of the episodes, the narrator never really spoke in the confines of a Dragon Ball episode, but he straight up says that for the first time, Cell has experienced true fear. So that should tell you how nasty Gohan is. But we're not done because people still think that Super Perfect Cell is stronger. Boy, are you in for a reality check.
Or are you?
Gohan nerfs everything Cell throws at him. Then Cell pukes up 18. He gets fat. He threatens to blow up the entire
Gohan punch in the stomach.
Goku teleports him out, sacrifices his life, etc., etc. You know the story. I'm not here to tell you the Dragon Ball Z story. I'm just here to explain to you why Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is an absolute monster. Cell comes back, and now he's Super Perfect Cell because he had a Zenkai. And at this point, people consider this to be sort of his version of Super Saiyan 2, where he is beyond the powers of Perfect Cell. He's now Super Perfect Cell, and he has gotten a significant boost in power, and he has. Guess what? He's still no match for Gohan, and I'm going to prove it to you right now.
And I'm about to debunk your...
Where people say that Super Perfect Cell was stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and now we're going to destroy that argument once and for all. So Gohan at one point, when Cell comes back, knowing that he's more powerful, smiles sadistically and basically states that now he has his chance to actually kill Cell and get revenge, not even sweating Cell's new power.
And Cell literally said,
didn't even sweat it. So then,
and Cell said, no, it's not going to go the way you think. So that counters your argument there. It's not like Gohan's a better sensor than Cell.
Throws a finger blast at Vegeta, and this blast was meant to kill Vegeta. Listen to what I'm telling you. This blast from Cell was a death beam. It was meant to take Vegeta's life from him. Gohan dives in without protecting himself. And remember, this is Vegeta post.
He is protecting himself. His ki is still boosts his power up.
Dives in without thinking or planning or protecting
but he was thinking.
Himself,
he chose to go do that.
And his arm goes limp. So that black.
Hold on. First off, Geekdom, you emphasize the fact that Cell ki blast was meant to kill Vegeta. That's the same amount of power, or at least like that's lower than the amount of power than that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan used to defeat the Cell Juniors with the one shot. Like the amount of ki he used, you can say it's comparable. Let's say it's comparable right there. So Gohan's punch and kicks that killed the Cell Juniors. It's comparable to that blast, right? Gohan punched just perfect Cell. He punched him, caused him to throw up. He didn't kill him or nothing like that. So you need to also factor in that how Gohan's ki dropped because he got hit in the arm. Cell's ki also dropped from all the attacks and damages he got from Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. You're not factoring that in your video.
Meant to kill Vegeta,
Watch.
and all that happened was Gohan lost an arm. The concept here is not that different from the ring blast that hit Goku through the chest in Resurrection F. If you are unprepared, if you have your guard down, then things can hurt you a lot more than you would.
Or
think
if the
they
person
would,
has
and
more
in some
power, it
cases
could also
take
hurt you.
out totally.
You're not
All that happened to
thinking of that.
Gohan was he lost an arm for the fight. His arm.
Because he was still protecting himself with his ki. If not, then Gohan would his arm would have been gone. It would have been destroyed. Dropping your ki means there's no protection, which means that that arm is gone. So he was obviously protecting himself with his ki. It's just that he was weaker than Cell, or he was just not fully powered up. Those are the only two explanations. Now, I'm going to go with him being weaker because Gohan goes, now I can kill you with my own two hands, and Cell goes, no, it's not going to go how you think. Cell could sense Gohan's ki just as Gohan could sense his ki. The only difference is Cell is more accustomed to Gohan's power because he actually fought him in a fight when he was weaker. So he was able to at least gauge it a bit more than Gohan could gauge Cell's. That's the difference that you're not making right here.
Limb. And of course, that would lead to the final beam struggle between Gohan with one arm and Perfect Cell, Super Perfect Cell, that is.
Yeah.
This is the part where people start to get confused about this. So, it is explicitly stated in the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z and in the manga that Gohan, even with one arm, even after the Cell Juniors fight
having one arm
and the fight with Cell
doesn't matter
himself, is not even close to hitting his max power. It's right there in the series. Goku speaks to Gohan from beyond the grave, from the other world, and he tells
But neither has Cell.
Gohan that he's not showing his full power, and that he knows that Gohan is stronger than this.
But neither is Cell. That's the connections that he's not also making. All Cell said was, I've gathered enough ki to blow away the solar system. That he's gonna destroy Gohan and the planet, including the solar system. So Cell's not saying, here's all my full power. That's the difference that you're not making here, Geekdom. Gohan is using Gohan's not using his full power at this point, but he unleashes his full power. Cell does not. And Cell is distracted by Vegeta. Now, you said yourself, just a little while ago, that when a person is caught off guard, they're more defenseless. So you have to use that same argument for Cell. The moment Vegeta attacked Cell, even if it didn't hurt him, it distracted him to the point where Gohan was able to kill him. Because that's when Gohan released all his power. He released it all when Cell was distracted. You have to use that same logic. You have to use the same logic for both characters. We even see the same thing or similar thing happen on Namek. Piccolo, who barely had any ki left, but got some from Gohan and Krillin, kicked a distracted Frieza. Because Frieza's focus was on Goku, who was absorbing energy for the Spirit Bomb. Piccolo kicked him and he sent him flying into the water. Now, if Frieza was fully aware and not caught off guard, he would tank that attack. That attack wouldn't send him flying. Piccolo does not have anywhere near the amount of energy that, Frieza does.
Finds out after Gohan is pretty
Same
much
logic.
giving up on himself because he doesn't believe in himself as much as Goku believes in him, right? That's always been sort of the story here, that he's afraid of destroying the Earth. Goku tells Gohan that he cannot be afraid of destroying the Earth because if he doesn't beat Cell, the Earth will be destroyed anyway, so he has to do the best that he can. Goku knew something Gohan didn't know. Gohan didn't even realize how powerful he truly was, and Goku did.
How?
So
What do you mean
struggle,
Goku did?
it
No.
goes back and forth, and in the anime,
How is Goku gonna know the full amount of power that Gohan has when Gohan didn't fully transform to Super Saiyan 2? He went like he touched the power pretty much to where his hair transformed to it, but he didn't like fully power up to it. So Goku isn't gonna know Gohan's full power. He didn't even know Cell's full power, and he met Cell. Gohan only transformed once in the training, once. So you had to use the same logic here.
Fighters
Same
try
logic.
to attack Cell, but that's not in the manga. Okay, now Goku keeps pushing Gohan to give it more and more power. And remember, Gohan has one arm and is heavily
Which
battle damaged,
doesn't mean much.
and he's still holding back Super Perfect Cell's Kamehameha. Now, I want to quickly address something that Piccolo says. Piccolo says at one point that he felt that Gohan's ki was too weak, and it turns out he was completely wrong. What it is, what's going on here, is that Gohan was mentally defeated during this part of the battle. Gohan did not think he could do it, and Goku believed in Gohan to push himself even further. And what you have to remember, there's a panel right after Piccolo says that, literally right after, where Goku says, "You have not used all of your power yet." He's telling him immediately after what Piccolo says the opposite. Why is Goku's word more gospel than Piccolo here? Because Goku had just spent a year in the room of spirit time with the kid, and Piccolo had no idea. Piccolo had no clue.
Hold on, I'm gonna change the memory card because this one's about to die. Hold on. Go.
Not seeing Gohan's true power, he had not been able to feel or sense Gohan's potential, and Goku did. So Goku's word
he
is
didn't
gospel
sense
here.
all of it.
Plus, remember, Gohan won the fight.
Okay, winning the fight means nothing. It really doesn't. For one, he sensed the tip of it. He didn't sense all of it. So it's not like Gohan transformed to Super Saiyan 2 and powered up. So he didn't gauge all of it. Just like he couldn't gauge Cell's power as well. And he met Cell. He went to Cell and met him. And then he went to Korin. Korin couldn't even sense the full scale of Cell's power. Why do we know this? Because of how he said it. He was like, "Oh, Goku, I can't, your power is close." But it wasn't. It was like less than half, based off what we've seen and statements we know. So, again, like, it's not, like, you can't base it off of that. And just winning the fight doesn't mean that you're stronger than the person. It really doesn't. Like, there's many, series to where weaker people beat stronger people. And even in here, Goku and Piccolo were able to beat Raditz, and they were weaker. So it depends on like how you win. It depends on how you win. All right, let's get back to this.
There we go. Now let's do the real debunk here.
It's not a
Many
debunk.
people ignorantly feel like Vegeta's blast was the momentary distraction that allowed Gohan to win.
It was.
And while it was a distraction, it was not what killed Cell. The attack that Vegeta hit Cell with pretty much did nothing to Cell. And it's always kind of a head scratcher when I see people say, well, Gohan wouldn't have beat him without Vegeta. That is complete and utter nonsense.
It's not. That's like saying Goku would have beaten Frieza without, would have been able to use the Spirit Bomb without Piccolo. He wouldn't have. Frieza would have killed him. That's the same argument. So, you're telling me that Cell literally about to say, Cell literally said this, "I'm about to finish you off," like, not in that perfect, but he basically about to just like finish off Gohan. He gets attacked, which the attack itself didn't do nothing to Cell. He looks back, his head literally turns back away from Gohan and looks and see that it's Vegeta who did it. And that's when Gohan unleashed all of his power. And again, Geekdom, you're not factoring. Cell is not using his full power. He's only using the power that he gathered. That's not his full power. That's like saying when Roshi destroyed the Chi-Chi's dad's mountain that was on fire and back in Dragon Ball, that he's using his full power in that attack. He's not, because we saw him destroy the moon later on. So again, you're comparing. It's like, so we can make this comparison. The attack that Cell's using is like Roshi destroying the mountain. That's not his full power. Because all he says is, I gather enough for this. He didn't say, here's all my power. Whereas we know for a fact that that's all of Gohan's power. Because he's like, unleash your full power. So Gohan's using his full power, whereas Cell isn't. Because he didn't need to. He was using enough ki that he knew that would kill Gohan. And then Gohan unleashed more power while Cell was distracted. That's something that you're overlooking.
So I think part of the problem here is because of a line in the English dub
And he's
where Goku
based.
says,
Vegeta's based on the...
when Vegeta hits Cell with the blast. And that is not in the Japanese version or in the manga whatsoever. He's just telling Gohan to kind of give it his all finally.
Yeah, he says now. He does it. He says to do it now, and that's when Cell's distracted.
And this is not as if this attack weakened him or anything. Gohan took that opportunity to push back and gain the ground faster and unleash his true power upon Cell. And at that point, there was
this part
nothing
wasn't in the
Cell
manga,
could
but
do
he just
because
outright
Gohan
just
was
killed him.
way more powerful than him. And someone's gonna try and come up with
No, he wasn't way more powerful. Goku literally almost killed Frieza. Frieza himself said, I almost died from that. From the Spirit Bomb, I believe it was. How is Goku hurting someone who's not even at full power? Because Frieza wasn't at full power. Frieza was at like half his power, I think. Because I don't think he powered up again. I could be wrong, but I don't think he powered up again since Goku used Kaioken times 20. Because that wear it off, whereas Frieza doesn't. The power wouldn't wear off, except when he uses it. So that shows you that someone weaker could kill someone stronger. When Goku was in Kaioken times 20, he used the Kamehameha wave, which hurt Frieza. And this is Frieza who's at half his power. Based off of your logic, that shouldn't do nothing to Frieza, because Frieza's full power is still way stronger. No, it depends on how much ki they're using at the moment. So Frieza's using half his ki, like total half of his ki at that time, means that he can only protect himself using that amount of ki. He would have to power up, and we know powering up takes time. That's why they power up. They yell and gather their ki. Cell's not doing that here. The moment he's distracted and Gohan attacks him, he's shocked at that point. Like, he's getting hit with all that power. He doesn't have time to actually power up. That's why he's being killed. He's being killed because he's getting attacked by more power than he's releasing. Plus, he was distracted. And you said yourself just a little while ago that when someone's distracted, their guard is down. Goku is distracted, and we simply just speared him in the side, and that hurted Goku. I'm pretty sure it was in the filler. Krillin threw a rock and it hurt Goku because Goku was distracted, and it hurt Goku on the forehead. Like, come on, it's the same thing here.
saying, well, he was caught off guard.
Yes, he was.
That is wrong.
How is that wrong?
Friend, and
How?
Here's the proof. We've seen characters in Dragon Ball eat blast at point blank range and survive. We've seen characters react and block close range attacks multiple times. For example, Goku versus Nappa. We have seen this where if you are fast enough, if you are strong enough, you can react.
Yet you didn't use that same explanation for when Gohan got hurt. If you're fast enough or strong enough, you can tank the attack or evade it. Yet he didn't do that when he was saving Vegeta, right? Why is that? Because he was weaker than Cell. Gohan literally still had his ki aura around his body. So he was still powered up. He wasn't powered down. He was still powered up. So you have to use the same logic for both characters, or else it just doesn't work. That's not how scaling works. Scaling works by using the same logic for both characters.
Stronger than Gohan. Since that blast did nothing but annoy him, Cell could have just bounced back the Kamehameha like he had been doing prior in the beam struggle. He didn't, because this was Gohan's true final power completely unleashed which was strong enough to not only blow off half of Cell's body like what Goku did, but do more than that. Remember, Cell survived the Warp Kamehameha, but couldn't survive this one from Gohan. You want to know why? Because Gohan was astronomically stronger than Cell. Point blank. Vegeta did nothing. The only reason, narratively, as to why Vegeta got involved and helped Gohan was to return the favor for what Gohan did for him when he saved him from the beam that knocked out Gohan's arm. It was purely an internal thing for Vegeta's character, and if you watch it again, you can see he's struggling with it, whether or not he should get involved, and he does it anyways because he is changing into being a better person throughout this part of the series, and that's a good example of him doing that. When people say Vegeta killed Cell, like, you sound so stupid. That's like saying that Han Solo blew up the Death Star. No. Han Solo helped Luke Skywalker when he blasted Darth Vader. Luke Skywalker blew up the Death Star.
Yeah, just like
Han
how
Solo.
Vegeta helped
Vegeta.
Vegeta helped
Cell with his incredible power. Vegeta just did what he thought he needed to do for himself. So
Geekdom, you're not using the same logic here.
With actually doing damage to Cell, because Cell, if you watch it, didn't even feel it. He just said Vegeta, and that's
yeah,
it.
but that's still distracting him.
So Gohan, whether he had one arm or two, was stronger than Super Perfect Cell. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was incredible. Look, there is absolutely no way that Super Perfect Cell is stronger than Gohan. No chance, none. People need to get their heads out of their asses.
You do too then, based off your logic.
And stop making yourself look dumb, okay? Super Saiyan 2
So that's not making you look dumb? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you had to use the same logic.
It was just Gohan.
If you're calling them dumb, you had to call yourself dumb.
In Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle, there was a statement where Gohan says that me and my father's combined power, but he's talking about more so his spirit, because Goku did not give Gohan any power. He just gave him the motivational push and passed down the torch to Gohan as being the main character. No, it was all Gohan. He had been holding back the entire time. Gohan killing Cell was him at his absolute full power unleashed, and Super Perfect Cell was gone. Point blank. Gohan did not believe in himself. Goku did, and that's the story. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped. Do me a favor and like it if you did. Spread it out to those who might not know. Thanks for your support, and all hail Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He is a beast, and goodbye.
Okay, so I'm gonna address that too. So he's literally leaving it. He's not using the same logic here. As I said before, if you're gonna use the fact that Gohan's energy dropped because he was hurt, you have to use that same logic with Cell. Cell, before he got the Zenkai boost, took hits, and we know for a fact that when Cell regenerates, it drains him. Like, that was stated when he got hurt. Like, his ki dropped when he I think it was Warp Kamehameha. Yeah, I think it was that one. It dropped. Now, so you have to factor in every attack wound that he got. And even when Super Saiyan 1 Gohan was fighting Cell, Cell was literally hitting Gohan and all that stuff, and then Goku was like, it's alright, like, you could, like, Gohan's ki didn't go down. He wasn't hurt. That was in one of the parts. So when they're hurt, even from, like, attacks that might not, you know, like, break their arm or something like that, their ki still goes down because they're using their ki as their defense, as their durability, because it's weak without it. We know this because Goku gets hurt when he doesn't use his ki. When he lowers his guard, he could get hurt by attacks weaker than Cell's. So we have to use that same logic with Cell. He got hurt from a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan while he was just perfect Cell. So his ki would have dropped. So even if he got the Zenkai boost, his power is still not at 100% because regenerating lowers your ki. It doesn't increase it, it lowers it. So, even though he got a power boost, he's stronger than he was back when he was perfect Cell. That still wouldn't be his full power because he's not replenishing his ki all the way back to like 100%. He never once did that. He just got a power up. So his ki still dropped. Him exploding would have dropped it even more. So that means his power-up had to be huge. Goku got a huge power-up. Goku power went from 90k to 3 million on Namek. And you're telling me, and that was just him fighting against Vegeta. Well, not even him fighting against Vegeta. Ginyu in Goku's body fighting against Vegeta. That damage caused him to get that power boost. The power gap between Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and Perfect Cell should give Cell a pretty good boost, especially when Cell's power is increasing. And when he died as his second form. So that means the boost to transform him back to his perfect state and then give him a bigger boost, that should tell you something. That should tell you something. Again, Gohan literally said, I now could tear you apart with my own hands type deal. See, Geekdom, you focus on that part, but you ignore where Cell dismisses that. Cell could sense Gohan's power too, and he's more accustomed to it because he actually felt his attacks. Even if it wasn't Gohan's full power, he still could gauge the amount of power that Gohan's using. Gohan can't do that except from sensing it, but Cell could sense him as well. And Cell has it cells up multiple fighters like Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Tien, stuff like that. And we know that like he's at least have the cells of multiple people who are more accustomed to fighting than Gohan does. That's why he's able to fight people like Goku who have years of experience and still be on top. Not just because of his power, but like physically like fight him. And we know Gohan has less experience than fighting experience. So if Gohan was to fight them and they're like around equal power, Gohan would lose because of fighting experience and style. So we have to know that like if we're gonna trust one of the two when it came to ki sensing, I'm gonna go with Cell because he has at least like because he has some knowledge of those fighters. So why can't we, why can't we use his words as well as if you're gonna use both of them, you have to use both of them. And Cell seemed more believable, especially when he actually hurts Gohan. If you're using a ki attack to kill Vegeta, someone who's weakened, mind you, so it's not full power Vegeta. This is a weakened Vegeta. A Vegeta who was getting beat on by Cell Jr. Why would he need to use more power than what Gohan used to kill the Cell Juniors? If anything, he would use the same amount of power or less. Yet Gohan's arm is gone. And his guard wasn't down. His ki was still on. He was going there to protect Vegeta. He wasn't distracted. He wasn't blindsided. So how can you say that he is hurt? That's like saying Piccolo protecting Gohan from Nappa is Piccolo with his guard down. That's the same logic you're making, but it wasn't. Piccolo's power was fully in use because he used it to protect Gohan. It cost him his life, but he protected Gohan. He died because he was weaker than Nappa, not because he was caught off guard or distracted. That's the same thing Gohan did. He went there to protect Vegeta, knowing full well what he was doing. So even if Gohan ki is lowered because he was damaged, you have to factor in all the damage that Cell got before he even transformed. Now we also have to factor in the fact that how are we just going to believe everything Goku says? Goku did not feel or sense the full power of Cell, but you're going to tell me that he felt the full power of Gohan when Gohan wasn't at full power? He just slightly transformed? And we could further break it down using numbers. Because each of the grade would be stronger than the next, right? So grade 2 is stronger than grade 1. Grade 3 is stronger than grade 2. Grade 4 is stronger than grade 3, right? How would you break that down? Because Super Saiyan 2 is 100 times base. So it's 2 times Super Saiyan 1. Super Saiyan 1 is 50 times base. So that means each grade, would have to be 12.5 I think the figure was. 12, hold on. Yeah, I think it's 12.5 times stronger with each. No, not times stronger, but in addition. So you had to add 12.5 to each grade. So if grade 1 is 50 times, then grade 2 would... Let me just make sure my math was right. Yeah, it would be 62.5. Then grade 3 would be 75. Grade 4 would be 87.5% base. Like times base, I mean. Is that percent base? Times base. So if that's the case, then between Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 1 grade 4, there's only about a 12.5, difference. Just like the other forms. Because Gohan isn't going to be stronger than the 100 times base. Because that's what Super Saiyan 2 is. In the data books, that's what it is. We already know that Perfect Cell is above Gohan Super Saiyan 1 grade 4. We know that. You said yourself, he powered up 2 times. 2 times in just Perfect Cell. When Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2. So he was a bit stronger than Super Saiyan 1 Goku. I say Goku. Well, of course, Goku and Gohan. Now that he got his Zenkai boost, it makes way more sense that he's stronger than Gohan. Especially when you factor in that both of them would have lost ki. Cell would have lost more ki than Gohan. Gohan got hit by an attack that would kill someone weaker than the Cell Jr. Cell got hit by attacks that would hurt him. Him! Who is stronger than Vegeta. So Cell got hit by attacks stronger than attacks that would have killed Vegeta. You need to factor these in when you're doing their comparison. That's why power scaling matters. You have to use the same logic. And I know Geekdom said that he's not great at when it comes to power scaling, but that's something you're not using. You have to factor all that in when it comes to power scaling. Another thing is that a lot of people don't like to use or remember because it wasn't shown, but Cell didn't use Kaioken. He would know that. He would know Kaioken because he stated to know Kamehameha Wave and the Spirit Bomb. And this is because of the Goku cells that he had from Goku from Saiyan arc when Goku fought Vegeta in the Saiyan Saga. So that means he knows Kaioken too. He knows Solar Flare, Kaioken, Kamehameha. He would know all of them, their moves. It's not like he's just gonna know those 2 moves and no other moves from Goku. Cause that doesn't really make sense for you to know those 2 moves, but then not Kaioken. When Goku used Kaioken and Kamehameha Wave more than he used Spirit Bomb in that arc. He used the Spirit Bomb once. He used Kaioken multiple times in that fight. So that'd be more susceptible for Cell to learn and use. Cell just never used it because if he used it, he wouldn't need to turn perfect form to even kill them. He could have just been in his first form, Kaioken times 10, and killed them all. He was already stronger than a Super Saiyan in his first form, because Piccolo is around as strong as a Saiyan. We know that from when he fought Dr. Dro. So, and then he got even stronger when he fused with Kami, and he was a bit stronger than Cell. But then when Cell came back after absorbing people, he was stronger than Piccolo. So he's already stronger than a Super Saiyan 1 grade 1. Times him by 50. I said by 50. Times him by 10. He's stronger than Gohan. Because that's not... from Super Saiyan 1, grade 1, to Super Saiyan 2, it's not a 10 times multiplier. So again, if we're going by math, Cell is stronger. If we're going by feats and facts, Cell is stronger. That's what I have to say about this. Now, I do like Geekdom video. I really like your videos. And I would like to talk to you more about this in depth. So if you want to talk about it, we could. Because based off all the facts that I named and all the different examples, Cell is stronger than Gohan. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, he is stronger. Thanks. I'll catch you guys next time. If you have any other ideas or videos that you want me to tackle on, comment, leave it in the comment section below. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.